my understanding, Excel is still the biggest BI tool that is used in everyday life. And if you define a BI tool as doing some data crunching and data preparation on a very flexible kind of flexible habit, then Excel is definitely a tool that will be here for a long time and will be still here also if you have some kind of good BI tools, because it's still a calculation tool. So for doing some calculations, Excel will always be the choice users go to. And if you see it like there's a big hype on Power BI, of course, but Excel is still the tool that everyone knows, and the entrance barrier of using Excel is the lowest. Starting with simple arithmetic calculations, you have a bigger audience that can do basic stuff in Excel. So therefore, I think it's the number one BI or calculation tool that's still or is still in use today. What is still missing in Excel in terms of getting a standardized way of visualizing data is the possibility of doing a good and deep templating and property setting. So you can define some guidelines and also some templates, but the actual work is always very time intense and manual. And if there are some changes in the structure beneath, in the data tables you have prepared, then often you have also to do a lot of adaptions in your visualizations, and this is very time consuming. I think if you know your data and you want to convey some message with the data and visualize it, the time of doing so from the availability of data to the time that something is prepared should be minimized. There is no value added in the action of creating visualizations. It's just the fact that you have it quickly, and that's currently missing in Excel. And what is also some kind of problem is sharing. So it's often so that the data and the visuals within one Excel file, and it is always some kind of hard way of providing and sharing these files in a specific way, hiding tables and doing some security on the tabs. This is in regards to reporting a little annoying. So Excel is really focused on the data and the tables, and visualizing is very hard. I did some IBCS notations for myself some years ago. It was really funny in the beginning and then exciting, but then it's really got frustrating if you do this over and over again for each single report. So I would say Excel is not a tool for visualizing data, but more for simple calculations and data crunching. As we already use the Zebra visuals for Power BI, there is some big potential that is lying hidden by using Zebra visuals also in Excel, and that is that the consumer of visualized data, either if it's Power BI or Excel, have the same notation. So I know some people, especially in the top management, they won't recall some differences between Excel and Power BI then, and so there is no big distinguish or some big difference. There is no big difference if data is prepared or reports are prepared by the BI team, some data analyst, or even a controller that is very used to work in Excel. The look and feel is the same on the most common BI tools, at least in our company, and that's Excel and Power BI. So this is a really big benefit, and I would look forward to take this opportunity and realize this potential. And if you really manage to make the user experience similar, I think this is then not only the way of showing data in a uniform way, but also preparing and creating this kind of visuals in a uniform way. And this would be then the transition from Excel to Power BI with this limited view that users or controllers that most of the time do not have as much time to spend and try do some experiments with Power BI. They're really hardworking people, in my opinion. Then you make the transition costs of the tools lower. So the barriers of using then the good BI tool with a lot of more interactivity and possibility, you can maybe make or manage it to create this controller 2.0 that really is using Power BI in the same way as Excel today. And if you add some Zebra visuals to it and the IBCS, this is really a game changer for creating a good user experience for management. So that's not something that is just for controllers, but it's really nice because it comes easily and it's very fast. I would say groundbreaking is some word I would go with.